tip for getting the most variety of sound out of your brush sticks. So we basically have these two angles, right, that we're going to need to use the brush from. So you have your traditional styles, right? You're doing a nice brush sweep, you're creating that atmosphere, that texture. Okay, so in order to get that, you're going to need to use the full extent of the brush and lay it nice and flat to the ground. Because you want to hear all those brushes. You want to let them kind of like sizzle out, ring out a little bit. And then even if you're, let's say you're doing a sweeping motion with the left hand, you're going to keep that nice and flat. And with the right, maybe you're doing like a swing or a shuffle. It's going to be fairly flat as well, you know, maybe a little bit more angled just to make the distinction between the two sounds. There you go, you got your atmosphere, and then you have a little bit more popping dynamic, right? Now, what if we went a little bit further with that? Because we're going to need to get like a nice snap at a certain point. Now, if you're just going about it laying everything flat because you're just thinking about the brush in terms of like, well, I got to use the whole brush, and if we're always kind of playing like this, then when I need to, you know, get more of a popping sound, it's just going to fall flat. You're not going to get exactly what you need. So what you're going to need to do is just angle it a bit and really shoot from the tip. Use your wrist to really snap it, but instead of laying flat with it, you're going to be on that angle to really get like a little pop from the tip, as if you would with a drumstick. Now, a drumstick's just going to do that naturally, right? So with the brushes, you got to exaggerate a little bit more. But then you get a nice little mix of sound because you get the texture, you get the atmosphere, and then when you need the dynamic, you get a nice little range of sounds there. If you've seen any of my videos, you know that every time I'm playing along the songs, I'm always using brushes. Now, for an apartment, it's a lot, you know, better for the neighbors than sticks. But I've grown to love them. I really do, because it's the mix of sounds. It's the texture, the atmosphere, and the attack all in one. And, you know, if you're playing along to jazz music, obviously it's going to work very naturally. But I love a lot of dance music, and you know, dance music already has those programmed drums. If you're just kind of playing along with sticks, you know, it's almost like a competition of sound. With these guys, you get to kind of create something and something a little different and be like inside the music, inside the song, and you know, add something of texture, you know, without too much of an abrasive sound. So you get a, you know, and they pop, you know, they really pop. So anyway, keep that stuff in mind. If you like this stuff, give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.